Okay, great. So everyone, I hope everyone's having a great night. If you were able to join us or if you are watching the recording, just a few quick announcements. I want to give a huge shout out to a couple of people. Tiffany Prince, congratulations again. You booked a keynote and you also booked for a virtual workshop, I believe, for one of the sororities that was on our list. And then congratulations, Bo Bravo, for getting booked at the I think it's GREEP, if I'm saying that correctly, leadership conference in July. So kudos to you all. Anytime you are doing a booking and you want to share that with us, that you got it booked off of the list or something from our Meet the Meeting Planner calls, by all means, let me know. We always love to know that. You're by no means required to tell us, but it's always nice to know, who's getting booked and who isn't. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Today, I am going to talk about starting to market to educational associations and also the fraternity sororities. We have lists on the back end of our site. So first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to log in to the screen. And as you know, it's going to drop you here on the, let me go back. It's going to drop you here to the members only page. And for those of you who haven't logged in a while, what you're going to want to do is click on the speaker in a box content. Hi, Audrey, welcome. And you're just going to want to click on the association databases. Now, we have others on here too. And as I've told everyone, if there are certain databases that you'd like for us to pull or get, please let us know and we can start working on that and see what we can find that would be related to whatever industry. We're always happy to do that. Just make sure you do a quick email request to info@bookspeakrepeat.com. So I'm going to click on both of these. The sorority list here, and both of these, I believe, are, they're Excel spreadsheets. So when you click on the links, it's going to download automatically. And as you can see with both of these, this is the sorority fraternity one. Some of these are pretty detailed, some of them are not. But to kind of give you an idea, I'll just kind of go over a couple of these. We have Delta Sigma, we have the person's name. And it'll give you the title as well. This person's the president of that particular fraternity or sorority. Their phone number is listed. Some of these lists have emails, but most of them don't. So you need to rely on the phone number. You're going to want to give them a call. And what I recommend for both of these, I'm just going to X out of here real quick. I'm going to open up the other one just to show you. This is the Educational Association one. Now, to give you an idea of what's on this list, we have, for example, Palm Springs Teachers Association, High Plains Regional Education Cooperative, and has the executive's name, where they're located, like New Mexico, and executive director or president, and so forth. And then you have their phone number on this list as well. So with these, you are going to want to pick up the phone and call. You will always, 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 always get better results by calling. I can't recommend that enough. Even if you just did 10 calls a day, or you pick through the list and you pick who you feel like your message would resonate the most with. So you have your list. The next thing that you're going to want to do after you have downloaded these is you want to create a quick phone script. If you have an email address, great, you can email them. But again, chances are you might want to email them and call, but you will always get better results if you just pick up the phone and call. Don't feel like you have to create anything elaborate. The more simplistic it is, the better. Again, I call meeting planners all the time, independent meeting planners, association meeting planners, and also private companies. And I can tell you, the shorter you can be with them in your messaging, hey, I'm Carrie Heaps, I'm a speaker and a trainer. I speak primarily on body language. I don't know if you ever look for any speakers or trainers, but I would love to send you some information about my topics. Do you have any events coming up? Give them a chance to respond. But here on the back end content, again, if you go to the, we'll start back over here to the members only content. And if you click on the speaker in a box content, and then the speaker in a box audio content, I actually have down at the bottom, I have crafting an email templates here. But if you have to call, script writing and role playing, I have a sample phone script. So all you have to do is click on it, download it. It's in Microsoft Word. Now, clearly you're going to want to adjust this for your message and what you're doing. But all you really want to do with these lists is you're trying to get your foot in the door, first and foremost. Don't feel like you're going to, I mean, you may have an in-depth conversation with that meeting planner. That can happen, especially if they're looking right now. You will hear that. Well, it's funny you called. We're actually looking for, and they kind of fill in the blank of what they're looking for. But you want to have something in front of you just so you have, even if you did bullet points, I always like to have a script written out because I get distracted pretty easily. And I have 3 cats, so they distract me a lot too. So this is very helpful for me to kind of keep me, on the page of where I need to be when that phone rings and they pick up. So you can basically edit this however you would like, but I have like a generic script, hi, can I speak with Anna? My name is Carrie, I'm a speaker and trainer. And here I just have like again, that I sent them an email, but if you didn't, you'll just want to, let them know, hey, did I catch you at a good time? Always ask that when you call, because if they're in the middle of something, they're on their way to a meeting and they only have a minute or two, it might be better for you to get their undivided attention to call back later. And they'll let you know, hey, I have a minute, or actually, no, can you give me a call back this afternoon? And respect that. So if they ask you, hey, call me back this afternoon, fine. Thanks for letting me know. I'll call you later this afternoon, and then hang up. But always ask that. Again, I think there's a lot of people who will call, and I think we've all gotten this where someone calls you and they just go right into what they want. And they're throwing a lot of information at you and you might be in the middle of something else. So just be respectful of their time. So always include that. Did I catch you at a good time? Let them respond. And if they say, yeah, I have a few minutes. Okay, great. The reason for my call, get right to the point. I wanted to find out if you're looking for speakers or trainers for any of your upcoming events. My area of expertise is, and you're going to fill in the blank. And maybe how, like, for example, if you're calling just the educational associations, my area, like if I were calling them, I would say my area of expertise is body language. And it's really useful for people who are in the education industry, such as teachers or counselors, so they can pick up on certain nonverbal cues from their students or fellow associates. Do you find that's a need currently for your attendees or for your employees or your attendees? Again, customize it based on who you're talking to, and let them respond. Have a conversation with them and see what they say. And then I always like to let them know if they're like, well, yeah, we haven't had any needs as of yet, but that's kind of interesting. I never thought of that. I let them know, I can customize a presentation to meet the needs of your association or your school. Let me put something together in writing and I can send it over to you. Would that work? And let them respond, and then get their email address where you can send it over. But again, I would also say always set up the next step. I'm very big on that. You want to make sure that you're letting them know, okay, great, I'm going to email this over. And if it's okay with you, I'm going to follow up with you next Tuesday or Wednesday. Would that be okay? And get their permission. So that way you are setting up that next step. So the purpose of these initial calls with either one of these databases is going to be to determine, let them know who you are and determine if they have a need for what you're doing. And then if they do, sending over information. So it's like the very first step. Again, there might be some people that you talk with that they have an immediate need and they want to have a more in-depth conversation. That does happen. But go into it with the expectation that if you make 10 calls tomorrow, and I would challenge everybody to do that. If you're making 10 calls tomorrow, having at least 1 or 2 people that say, yeah, let's send it over. Let me take a look at it. We've thought about this, because again, this is all about having a conversation with them, uncovering their needs and about how you can help them. So with the educational associations, I can tell you most of those, that's an association. So their members may be teachers, they may be counselors, they may be school administrative staff. It could be a variety of different types of people. So keep that in mind. So think about what you talk about, train on, that would resonate with that crowd, that how you could help them the best. The other one with the sororities, fraternities group, clearly they're alumni, they have different meetings. They're going to have maybe an annual meeting or a quarterly meeting for their current and past members. So keep that in mind. What do you teach that would be a good fit for those fraternities or sororities on the list for current or past members? So think about that. before you call and kind of insert that into your script. And again, you can use this, so you can download it from the site, you can edit it as much as you want, but keep this short and sweet. Don't write a novel. This is all about, this is what I do. Is it of interest? Great, let me send this over. And then setting up the next step. So making it short and sweet and to the point. Again, I always challenge everybody, try to make 10 phone calls and just see where you might, and as you're making calls, you may find that you need to tweak what you're saying a little bit. Like maybe you call some of the fraternities or the sororities and they're like, well, yeah, actually we do, but we're needing someone who can present virtually or who can do, you know, you might hear a certain response a couple of different times. So you might have another topic or another presentation that would be much better for them. So keep that in mind. But if you chip away at this list, both of these, if we look at them, have quite a few, well, the sorority one has about 70 leads on it. And then we've got the educational one has about 101. And again, you can kind of go through the list and see what types of the associations there are that's on this, you know, for education, but most of them are going to be education councils. They're going to be something affiliated with the school board or with colleges in the area. So again, there's a lot of different opportunities here. So keep that in mind. So, and they are all over the United States. Something that I like to do, just a little tip here for calling, is I will go through an Excel list and I will click on where it says state. And I click on the sort and filter button and I do sort A to Z. This way it automatically sorts the states in alphabetical order. So I know, like, for example, Arkansas is on Central Time. California is on Pacific Time, Connecticut Eastern. So what I try to do is I try to call through my list. I'll do the Eastern calls first. Like, for example, if I'm calling at 4 o'clock, I'm going to call the ones in Connecticut and Florida and Georgia. I just kind of go down the list. And then as it turns to be 5 o'clock, I might make some calls to Kansas and Kentucky because they're on Central Time. And then if I'm going to call you can always, if you're on Eastern Time, you can call all the way up until 8 o'clock because California, it's only going to be 5 o'clock in California. So you can adjust it that way, but that's just something that I actually do just to kind of make it a little bit easier and expand my time more because I have so many other things going on during the day. But again, while you're calling in here, just, you know, keep this in mind that with these associations, you know, you may or may not get a hold of anybody. You know, I always like to go until I get at least one person on the phone, but make 10 phone calls. You'll probably get 1 or 2 people on the phone. And out of those 1 or 2 people, again, if you're keeping this short and sweet and to the point, at least one of them should say, yeah, actually send this over. Let me take a look at it. So those are 2 of the association databases that are back here that we recently uploaded in the past couple of weeks that I would recommend. If that is an ideal market for you, jump on these lists. But remember, when you have a phone conversation with any of the people on this list, you're going to find out more information. You know, if you send an email, you might get a response back that says, we don't have any openings or we don't have any need right now. And most people would take that as they're not interested. Where if you call, you get a much bigger perspective to say, hey, you know, we don't have anything right now, but we might have something coming up in the future. Actually, we've never thought about, you know, implementing whatever it is that you do. So keep that in mind. You will always get more information and a better connection with that person on the phone every time, hands down. So this way you can kind of start. I like to download my Excel spreadsheet and I like to always put in here, you know, kind of like a notes tab. So if I call and let's say I called Richard, I got his voicemail, I'm going to leave a message. So I'll put LDM and then I'm going to call this other Richard and I get him on the phone and he's saying, call back later, call back tomorrow. I can kind of make those notes here in Excel so I know where I've left off. Again, these are things that have helped me. You certainly don't have to do it, but that's something that's helped me as well. So again, how you're going to find these, I just want to go back over this one more time on the website. Is you're going to go, when you log in, it's going to land you at the members only page. You're going to click on speaker in a box content. You're going to click on association databases, and then you're going to download whatever one that you want. And you can follow this format for any of these that are here. Some of these, like I said, have email addresses. So if you prefer to do an email, you could do that, but you're just going to click on the sororities one if you want fraternity sorority leads. And then the educational associations are here. And all you have to do is click on it, and it's going to download it directly to your computer. Now, if you're wanting the scripts that I just talked about, you're going to click on under Speaker in a Box content, Speaker in a Box audio content. You can scroll down. Here's a sample email template too that you can look at and copy. There's a couple of them here. And if you want a script for calling, again, you'll scroll down. And I did do a track on this. It's an audio track. It's about 5 or 6 minutes. You're welcome to listen to that too. It's just kind of a reiteration of what I've shared today. And then download the phone script that is in Microsoft Word, so you can actually edit that according to what you are needing. So I hope this helps in regards to starting to get on the phone and doing some talking to different meeting planners and associations as well. And I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and stop recording.